2021 is going to be all about being smart with your money and saving your money and stacking up your money. So let's go. Hey, it's Tanaya. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about some financial saving information. I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I saved over $30,000 after I graduated college. I'm going to give you guys some of my tips and things that I did to basically be able to save that amount of money in a short amount of time after college, and then I'll get into more videos about how I was able to increase those savings, get a house, how I saved for a house, etc, etc, etc. So let's get right into it. But when I graduated college, I didn't have a job lined up or anything like that. Like the video if you were in the same situation. I didn't have a job lined up. I actually was going right into graduate school, and I got a graduate assistantship, but it was so freaking far. It was an hour and a half one way. That only worked out for a semester. I ended up having to transfer out of that school and go to a different graduate program that was online. And I said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get a full-time job instead of working part-time jobs, trying to go to school and all that other stuff. I'm gonna have to get a full-time job and go to school at night. So that's a whole separate video in itself, and that whole transition and journey. But once I got to that point where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get a full-time job and then go to graduate school at night, I ended up landing a job that was $45K a year in the healthcare field. Healthcare, more so like healthcare admin, insurance. So I was working in the health insurance field, $45K a year job. So that's tip number one. If you're somebody who is about to graduate college or recently graduated college, wherever you are in life, or you just want to be able to save this amount of money, pay attention to that one key. Make sure you have a job that is decent paying. For me, my goal when I graduated college, I wanted to at least make $50K, but it was slightly under that. But I didn't want to turn it down because I definitely had got other offers that were a lot lower than that. So that was key number one. I got a job that was $45K a year. Next thing that I'm going to go into that is the biggest part of this piece, but I think a lot of people who are coming from college can relate to this, is I stayed at home with my mom. So when I got out of college and I got that job, I didn't immediately go off and do my own thing. I stayed at home. So I was working that job. It was an 8:30 to 5 job, Monday through Friday. And once I got my checks, I didn't have that many expenses. So let's break this down. I stayed at home with my mom for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, because this was 2015 and I moved out in September of 2017. So yeah, 2 years. I stayed at home for 2 years. $45K a year, plus that job also, it required me to travel to different locations daily. So I would get mileage checks. So basically I would get $1,300 every 2 weeks. And my mileage checks would be about $300 to $400 a month. So I was doing $1,300 times 2 is $2,600. Plus I would get $300 to $400 additional for mileage reimbursement. So that's about $2,900 to $3,000 a month that I was making at, I was 22 when I got that job. So with that amount of money, we're just gonna say $2,600. We're just gonna go off of the salary and not include the mileage. So I was making $2,600 a month, and I was staying at home, so I wasn't paying any rent. Only thing that I was paying for was my car insurance. I was splitting that because I was on my mom's car insurance. So I think we would split it. I would have to give $80 a month or something like that. And then I was paying for my phone bill. I had got a discount on my Verizon plan because my job, my company had a discount through Verizon. So make sure, check if whatever phone company service you're using, see if your job has a discount with them, because I worked for another company and they also had a discount with Verizon. So double check into that. I think my phone bill was definitely $100 a month, maybe $105, something like that. But we're just gonna say $100 a month. So we got $80 car insurance, $100 a month phone bill. The other thing that I was paying was my student loan payment. So I had student loans, of course we all do. Hello, welcome to the US. So I had my student loan payment, and that was $190 a month. So, and then the other thing that I was doing, since I didn't have any other expenses, it was literally phone bill, car insurance, student loan, that's pretty much it, because I didn't have a car payment. I have a wonderful mom that got a car for me. So I didn't have a car payment. It was an older used car, got me from A to B. Still got that car now. I need a new car. But yes, I didn't have a car payment. So it was phone bill, student loan, car insurance, and then the only agreement I had was, okay, I'll just get like small groceries for the house, paper towel, tissue, cleaning spray, stuff like that, like small things to the house, which it was very, very minimal amount, right? So adding all of that up, it was about like $410 a month. That was my expenses, right? And I was making $2,600 a month before my mileage checks, but $2,600 a month, and my expenses was $410 a month because I chose to stay home. So if you are a recent college graduate, or if you're about to graduate college and you might not want to stay home, I mean, who does? You want to kind of go out and do your own thing, live your life, but it really can set you up for financial success. It really can help you out. It really, really can help you out and give you like a large savings when you are ready to move out. So when you take my $2,600 a month income and you subtract my $410 of expenses each month, that left me with about $2,190. So we'll just say $2,100. We'll subtract gas out of that. Even though I probably spent maybe $60 a month from gas, but we're just gonna say, we'll just get that $90 towards gas. So let's just say we're left with an even $2,100 a month. You have $2,100 a month, and then I want you to multiply that times 12, or multiply that times 24 months. That's how much money typically you can save if you are very, very disciplined. So let's be a little bit more realistic. We all kind of go out, we spend money on food, we go to outings, we spend money on ourselves and things like that. But here are things that I chose not to do, which helped me save a lot of that money, which is how I got over $30,000. The biggest things, and not everybody can really do this, is something that is a bad habit that I have, but it helps me save money. It's not the reason why I do it, but I got this trait passed down to me. I don't spend a lot of money on myself, so I didn't go shopping a lot like that. You know, I would go to H&M and get like a couple new work shirts or new work pants, not as much as I should have. Like, I didn't really go shopping like that. I wasn't like buying a bunch of clothes or bags or shoes or things online. I mean, 22, 23 years old with over $2,000 left each month. You know, young kids would like go nuts with that, but like I wasn't like going out and just spending money on shoes, clothes, bags, hair and nails and all that stuff. I just wasn't doing it. I would braid my hair up, or I would wear a low bun like I have now. Like I wasn't into getting my nails done or anything like that. So I really didn't have like those little like silly monthly expenses for self-care or self-upkeep or anything like that. Another major tip was I also didn't take out any additional debt. So as I mentioned earlier, I didn't have like a new car. I didn't go run out and buy a new car as soon as I like got this job or a year in. You know, I didn't go out and buy a new car. I didn't take on any additional new debt. The only debt that I had was my student loan debt, and I just was working towards paying that off. So I didn't go out and buy a new car. I didn't go out and get a house. I didn't even go out and get an apartment after I graduated college. You know, I did that way later. So make sure to be careful with any additional debt that you go and take out. And I know I mentioned to you guys that I was in graduate school. I paid for grad school out of pocket. So I could have had even more money saved up, but I was paying for graduate school each semester out of pocket with the money that I was saving. So yeah, it was pretty expensive. My job also gave me a big scholarship, like $8K, which was awesome. But yeah, so I didn't take out any loans or anything like that with grad school. I paid for it out of pocket. Another big tip, and this is like a big money eater, is I kind of hinted at this a little earlier, but be careful with how much money you spend on food, going out to eat, and outings with friends. I wasn't doing that a lot. Like I wasn't the type to go to Dunkin' Donuts every morning or Wawa or whatever and get a cup of coffee and a breakfast sandwich or whatever like that. I developed that habit like 4 or 5 years later. But At this time, like, I wasn't the one to go out and buy lunch all the time. I used to bring my lunch with me a lot, which really can save you a lot of money. So I was one, I would eat oatmeal in the morning, bring something with me real quick in the morning, and I would pack my lunch majority of the time. So I was saving a lot of money by not going out and spending money on lunch and breakfast every day. And then, like, I would eat dinner at home most of the time. He was my boyfriend at the time, but my fiance now, he would come over a lot to my mom's house. We would order out and stuff like that, but he would treat majority of the time. So it wasn't like most of the time wasn't my money. Then we started to split it, but it wasn't like excessive, you know. So you just have to keep a good eye on how much you're doing, how many outings you're going to, how many movies you're seeing, and make it make sense. The last tip that I'm going to wrap this up with that really helped me is, like, I kind of set a goal. So I had like a little savings plan. So you kind of know like how much your expenses are each month and how much income you're bringing in each month, whether you have one job, two jobs, or multiple streams of income. So you know like what your average amount of money that you should be like having left over after you pay all your bills. So like every couple months, like my checking account will start to stack up, right, with that leftover money. And I say, okay, it's been 2 months. I shouldn't have done this. I should have immediately put it into my savings, because it's not safe to have your checking account build up with so much money, because your car can get stolen and all type of stuff goes on. But what I would do is after 2 months, maybe sometimes even 3 months, my checking account will have like a couple $1,000s in there, and I would transfer it all over into the savings, and I would start fresh again. So I would have like this little timeline where it would hit 2 or 3 months, and I say, okay, my checkings account is at this amount. I kind of could basically plan it out, and then I would transfer it, and it would give me something to look forward to, because I was kind of creating my own like savings schedule and say, okay, this is how much I'm transferring into my savings every X amount of months, or you can do it monthly. So, and then you can take that a step further and say, all right, in 6 months, this is how much I should have, or in 12 months, this is how much I want to reach, and it should be attainable because you know your numbers. So that was like the biggest way that I was able to save that amount of money, like right after college, very shortly after college, just 2 years. You know, so the biggest thing was staying home after college, keeping my expenses low. And of course, I had a lovely mother that was able to help me do that. She didn't charge me like a rent or anything. I just helped with like, you know, small grocery stuff. And I didn't acquire like any new debt. I would have had even more money saved away if I didn't pay for like graduate school, but you know, your girl had goals and I wanted to get a master's degree, so I did it. But yeah, so I really hope that some of these tips that I shared with you guys were helpful. Let me know if you have any savings goals down in the comments, especially as we enter 2021. It is the first day of the year. So make sure you like this video if you like me sharing more money-based content with you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.